The Stonehill Athletic Department is proud to announce the recipients of this year's Community Service Award. They are 3 individuals who have played instrumental roles in elevating the conversation and fight for racial justice in our communities over the last academic year. Through their work with establishing One Hill and the Athletic Task Force Against Racial Injustice, continued work with Students in Action, as well as the organization of a campus-wide sit-in during the fall semester, they have engaged to empower students to stand with faculty and staff to fight for involvement in decision-making with regards to equality on campus. In addition to the campus-wide sit-in, they have hosted Zoom sessions to progress that conversation and give other students a venue to express their experiences with racial justice. They enacted voter registration drives and instituted a pre-game message of unity, which is played before the national anthem at all Stonehill home athletic events. This initiative has also been forwarded to the NE10 Commissioner in an attempt to get the message read conference-wide. The recipients of the 2021 Stonehill Community Service Award are juniors Shamir Johnson, men's basketball, and Tahj Valentine, football, along with sophomore Stephen Cobbs, football.
Yeah, I felt angry when I first watched a couple of the events that happened last July. I felt really angry, but I felt at the same time like, okay, I need to be a catalyst. I need to do something about this. If I can do anything, then that'll make me feel better because I can't just sit here and watch. I was fortunate enough to participate in a protest back home in Maryland back in July, and participating in that protest really made me kind of empowered and wanting to come to Stonehill and like really, all right, well, the past is the past, but let's make the future a better place.
We know that that summer everybody was posting on Instagram pictures and things like this to support the movement, support what was going on with the protest and, you know, the fight to, you know, justice against injustices that have been occurring on our campus, or not in our campus, but in our communities. So coming on the campus, I knew right away that I wanted to do something this year that would create change on our campus. Like, I knew our campus was, Stonehill is a great college, don't get me wrong. Like, we have a lot of great things that I can honestly say you go to other colleges, you're not gonna find at all. But I did know that we had an opportunity, especially with everything going on in our nation, everything going on in our country. We had an opportunity here at Stonehill to say, okay, we're not just going to be content with where we are right now, but we can push it to the next level.
I see all these people fighting and, you know, fighting what was right, and I see, you know, my peers and my friends and my family, you know, speaking out, and it was like I can't sit back and, you know, be the one who doesn't say anything, especially not now. And so, you know, the people that I idolized kind of fueled me and just made me want to do something, whether it was speak up in a group or you know, start One Hill, or, you know, talk to somebody and figure out what we can do on campus. It was like, I feel like everyone had this agenda to go and make something happen.
The sit-in was pretty much about the voices, hearing the voices of the people in our community, hearing the voices of the students, faculty, and staff who felt like our voices weren't being heard. The sit-in really originated from the letter that was leaked by those professors in the beginning of the year. And I think the response from the community was more so in shock and surprise that the letter was even made, one, and then also that the letter wasn't shown to the community, shown to the student body, faculty, and staff earlier than what it was, and it came out in the way that it did. It wasn't only because that the letter that we had to sit in, it was just time for students to, you know, stand up with faculty and staff and really, you know, say that we're here and we want to be involved in the decision making and the process of how the school is run. So we wanted to come together as students. This was 100% student-led. We had over 82 students on the Zoom call when we were trying to plan this, who participated and worked to put the sit-in together in only 5 days. It showed that students we're not gonna just, you know, we just don't wanna sit here and go to classes and live here and do the everyday things. We wanna get involved. We wanna make a community that's going to be compassionate, that's going to be caring, that's going to be loving and welcoming to everybody who comes on campus. And I think that's what the sit-in was about, to really show that we're one community, that we're not going to sit here and let things like the letters separate us and cause problems, and things that happen in our society, in our world around us, in our country around us, especially coming into the school year of 2020. A lot of people usually ask me, is the letter, is that what sparked the sit-in? And I say no. This was something that was like a climax. It was different events on campus, different things, I would say over the past 3 or 4 years that led up to the sit-in. But we never had a time like then to really stand up and say, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to have a sit-in. We're going to, make sure that our voices and faces are seen in numbers, and that's how it really happened.
We had over 600 people, whether it would be remote students tuning in via Zoom, or I think about 300 students actually took place in the sit-in in the quad in person with actually faculty and staff. A large portion of the task force was up there and in force. The sit-in was really powerful. We had a lot of students come up and speak about their experiences. We had faculty and staff speak about their experiences. It was really kind of a strict step or a first step in the right direction. It felt really empowering to see that many people believe in our cause.
The sit-in was, again, it was great. I think it was extremely impactful. I think our community is going to remember it for years and years and years to come. And my part in it was extremely small. It was almost last minute for me to come and speak and give my opinion. But I felt, again, like I had no right and there was no reason for me to say no to an opportunity like that. And I think, I applaud Tahj and Savion and everybody who was a part of that for, putting that together, because it's so much harder to do, from behind the scenes, to organize people in a space so large during this time and get people to really feel and understand where you're coming from and take that seriously and have it go almost flawlessly. I think it was amazing to see and amazing to be a part of for myself, and I think I'll always remember it, and I hope that there's anniversaries for it and there's things that we can do later on so that people understand that, like it's something that matters and it wasn't just a one-time spur of the moment thing, that it was something that's serious and can really impact and change this community. I think it was a great start to just seeing real change.
You can either look at this in two ways. You can either say, well, it sparked and these things originated because of what's been going on in our country and we should have had it before, or you can say what's been going on in our country actually helped the Stonehill community because it pushed us forward to making things like this. Would I say if things in our country weren't like this, would we have the task force? Would we have One Hill? Would we have SIA kind of formed for the sit-in? Probably not, because we weren't there yet. But what's been going on in our country, especially with the letter that was leaked on our campus, kind of pushed everybody forward to say, okay, enough is enough. We have to do something about it. And I think the task force is amazing. Everything that the task force has been doing so far on our campus with our athletic department has been really good. I've been hearing a lot of great things come out of it. Stephen Cobbs, right? Stephen Cobbs is a great guy, and I know he's been one of the students really in the task force taking the lead and really speaking up for change. So that's just one of the great guys. And actually, Stephen Cobbs is going to be on the executive board as well with me as the diversity chair. So there's no other better spot for Stephen to be with creating that change.
So the Stonehill Athletics Task Force Against Racial Injustice is composed of players, administrative members, and coaches from all across the Stonehill Athletics Department. I was luckily enough to be a part of the inaugural task force last semester. Basically, we try and institute real change. The players, the coaches, the administrative members come forward. We recognize that there's a problem with racial injustice, not only within the Stonehill Society, but the whole community, Massachusetts global community. And we really try and instill a better way to go up against and fight against racial injustice. We've done several initiatives. whether it be voting in the past election, trying to push voting. We had Brandon Cox, an alumni, come and talk about his experience with police brutality, which was a really good program. I think we had over 200 people show up. On top of that, we instituted kind of a pregame saying in the spring, basically saying that Stonehill Athletics pledges to go up against racial injustice. We even were fortunate enough to reach out to Julie Rupert, the commissioner of the NE10, and she agreed to doing that for the NE10 playoffs and championships, so that was awesome. I really appreciate it. I know every single time I listen to it when I'm going to go hear a game, I feel kind of empowered, and I've talked with other people from other teams, visiting teams, and they love it. A lot of other people have kind of brought forth that idea to their institution, so it's kind of cool to be a catalyst for the entire NE10.
The task force is great. I think it's a good opportunity for Stonehill to use athletics, our voice and our platform on campus to spread equality and address these racial issues and address the racial injustices in our society. And it shows that, we've heard this rhetoric a lot throughout these past couple of years, is just that a lot of us athletes are more than athletes, and we stand for something more than just sports, from basketball or football or lacrosse. We stand for equality, and we stand for things much greater and much more impactful than the game that we play. But we also respect the game that we play and understand that that platform is undeniably one of the greatest things on this planet. We can't being able to take a game and making it to something serious is something that we take pride in at the task force, and just constantly trying to find new ways to use our platform and make change in our community and across the NE10 is something that we strive for. And so I think the task force is great, and I'm happy I'm a part of it, honestly.
One Hill, Shamir is a junior here, right? For him to create One Hill to start that dialogue on our campus, especially with the athletes and everybody else on campus, that was amazing. That was really the start of students really coming together to speak about change, to speak about what's going on in our nation, our country, our Stonehill community, or the communities around us. And I don't think that conversation really would have started if Shamir didn't really carry that marker forward to create that.
So One Hill for me personally was a way for Stonehill to create a spot, and for me personally to create a spot on Stonehill where people can come together from different backgrounds and learn more about what it is to be someone else and what it is to grow up in someone else's shoes in the best way possible. And I think that throughout the summer and just throughout last year, everyone being home and being very introspective about what they're doing to fight inequality and fight social justice, I felt that for me personally, I thought some of the best things that I saw were people who can just sit down and listen and understand what it's like to be someone else who's going through these inequalities, and someone else who's going through these hard times mentally and physically, especially during a pandemic, and in the light of all the injustice that we were seeing. I felt that if you can make an immediate difference physically and immediately, why not just listen to someone who might have a better idea as to what is the real problem, and just learn more about it. And I thought One Hill was a way to get people with different ideas and different backgrounds together and just talk about it and just learn what the problem is and where people can see change, whether it be on Stonehill's campus or in the bigger picture.
But I would just say I want to see a more tight-knit family, more diversity as of more members of the BIPOC community on campus. I want to see Stonehill reaching out to our neighboring communities, neighbors like Brockton or Easton, and doing more events. I just want to see Stonehill really be a community where everybody can fit in, everybody can feel equal, and then everybody can have that feeling of they can speak up about change and speak up about what they feel passionate about. I feel as though Stonehill has done so far a great job with just allowing students to speak up and use their voices in the classrooms. So I just want to continue that process of allowing students to really speak up and have a table and have a seat at the table and really have a chance to really say, hey, this is my community, this is my college, and this is where I want it to be in 10 years.
When I leave, I just want Stonehill. I want to leave Stonehill better than I found it. That's something that my mother always said to me. I have a little brother who's about 10 years old, so he's gonna be not in the near future, but he's going to end up wanting to go to college, and it wouldn't be me to not want to push him to Stonehill. So like, I want him to come, and I want him to be blown away by how awesome it is, kind of like how I was, but even better. So the big thing that I want to do is just leave Stonehill a better place than I found it.
I want to see Stonehill in just anything in life. You just want to see it progress. You just want to see it, take that next step. I want to see Stonehill in a spot where, there's diversity and there's inclusion, of course, but just a space that they can be proud of, that I can be proud of saying that I went there, whether that's, they add one new faculty of color, whether they add a whole new department, it doesn't matter to me. But I think just seeing a spot, a place where I can come back and say, I went there, I made a change, and I'm proud to say that I'm, a Stonehill alum, and I'm proud to say that, I was able to spark a movement, spark a change that, whether it be small or large, was able to make a difference on this campus. I think that, that's kind of where I want to see Stonehill when I leave. It's just something changed, something changed for the better. And I hope that's, what we accomplish and what we can accomplish in these next couple of years.
Shamir and Steven has dedicated their time, energy, and effort to really do work on this community, to really do service on this community. And what their work, what they have done, does not go unseen. It really doesn't. And them as fellow, nominees for this award, fellow people who are going to be receiving this award, there's no one else I would want to get this award with. And I'm honored to know them, and I know that Steven's going to be a junior next year, so he's going to be able to do more when Shamir and I leave. And unfortunately, Shamir and I are seniors, but that doesn't mean that we're going to, not keep our foot on the pedal and get things done. So I am honored to receive this award, and thank you for everybody who nominated me for it.
It's funny when you get an award for doing like community service and things like that, because you do it out of just the kindness of your heart and just the goodwill of it all. But I'm super humbled by it, and I'm super happy I was able to be recognized for something like this. Me, Tahj, and Steven, I think we all work together so well. And those are two of the people I talked to really early about just doing something. Like, again, that goes back to my point of just doing something, on campus to make change. And I feel like this award is just a way to, it's just a motivation, and also just, a nice, nice honor and a nice ode to, I guess, what we were doing. And I appreciate it greatly. I think Tahj and Steven do as well. And I'm happy we were all recognized, especially those two.
I was so humbled to being announced the recipient. I can't even say thank you enough. It makes me feel like the work that I've done is well recognized, and it just motivates me even more to come in next semester and next year even more driven and see if we can get even bigger change.